Our compliance and risk management dashboard offers a comprehensive view of the organization's security posture and regulatory adherence. Real-time gauges track overall compliance and security risk, highlighting progress compared to the past 30 days. Trend lines further illustrate monthly changes in compliance and risk levels, empowering leadership with actionable insights. In addition, regulatory compliance is broken down across major standards like SOX, PCI, HIPAA, and GLBA, using an easy-to-read color coding that differentiates full, high, medium, and low compliance levels. This visual clarity ensures that gaps are quickly identifiable and addressed proactively. Beyond compliance monitoring, the dashboard pinpoints critical risk areas by identifying the top 5 highest risk assets within the organization. Each asset is listed alongside its owner, criticality level, and quantified risk score, providing a clear prioritization map for mitigation efforts. Together, these analytics tools deliver a robust framework for improving operational security, achieving regulatory goals, and protecting vital business assets, all in a visually intuitive, decision-focused manner. The planned risk responses process is a crucial part of project risk management, aiming to develop strategies and actions to enhance opportunities and reduce threats to project objectives. It draws inputs from the project management plan, key project documents like the risk register and schedule, and organizational assets, ensuring a holistic approach. Tools and techniques such as expert judgment, data gathering, and data analysis are leveraged alongside decision-making models like multi-criteria decision analysis. This structured method ensures that both threats and opportunities are addressed thoughtfully through tailored strategies, contingent responses, and proactive planning. The outputs of this process include change requests, updates to the project management plan, and revised project documents like risk registers and team assignments. By continuously refining risk responses throughout the project lifecycle, teams can maintain greater control over uncertainty and better align project outcomes with strategic goals. Ultimately, planned risk responses ensures that risk management is not just reactive but an integrated, forward-looking part of project execution. The planned risk responses process focuses on developing options and determining actions to enhance opportunities and reduce threats to project objectives. It draws on inputs such as identified risks, analyzed risk data, and prior planning results to craft targeted response strategies. Using tools and techniques like strategies for threats, strategies for opportunities, combined strategies addressing both threats and opportunities, and contingent response strategies, the project team designs specific actions that are feasible, effective, and aligned with project goals. The outputs from this process include updates to the project management plan, updates to the risk register and related documents, and the creation of risk-related contractual agreements if needed. By proactively addressing risks at this stage, the project increases its chances of success, minimizes surprises, and ensures that response efforts are clearly integrated into the broader execution plan. Planned risk responses is a critical bridge between risk analysis and risk execution in the overall risk management lifecycle. The risk management process involves identifying potential risks across key organizational elements, assessing their impact and probability, and calculating a priority score to focus mitigation efforts. Risks such as material delays, machinery breakdowns, labor shortages, excessive procurement costs, and schedule delays are evaluated and ranked based on severity using a color-coded system. Each risk is then assigned a specific response strategy to either reduce the threat or enhance opportunities, depending on its nature and criticality. Once risks are prioritized, the next step is to allocate the necessary resources and define concrete activities to manage them effectively. Each identified risk is linked to an actionable response plan, ensuring accountability and proactive engagement. This structured approach not only minimizes project disruptions but also strengthens overall project resilience through continuous monitoring, updates to risk registers, and timely execution of mitigation measures. High-severity risks like hurricanes crippling power lines demand immediate mitigation, reinforced infrastructure, real-time weather monitoring, and redundancy protocols to avert catastrophic operational shutdowns. Medium threats, including fires or floods damaging critical systems, require targeted safeguards such as fire-resistant materials, elevated generator placements, and rapid response recovery teams. Even lower probability risks like terrorist attacks on switchyards necessitate contingency plans, as their high potential impact could destabilize entire grids despite low likelihood. The matrix exposes gaps, such as dismissing low-rated terrorist threats to grounding systems, risking complacency in evolving threat landscapes. Severity ratings must drive dynamic resource allocation, with high-priority risks triggering preemptive investments, while medium and low tiers undergo periodic reassessment. This balance of prevention and adaptive response planning ensures resilience without overextending resources, hardening infrastructure against both predictable and unforeseen disruptions. Potential causes, such as resource gaps, scope creep, or market volatility, undermine project integrity by triggering delays, cost overruns, or quality compromises. These effects cascade into product viability, eroding stakeholder trust and competitive positioning if left unaddressed. Proactive identification of root issues aligns risk mitigation with strategic priorities, ensuring the project remains resilient against internal and external disruptions. Deliverables hinge on rigorous cause-effect analysis, translating theoretical objectives into actionable, defect-resistant outputs. By anchoring timelines, budgets, and quality benchmarks to preemptive risk controls, organizations safeguard deliverables from ambiguity, ensuring final products or projects meet, or exceed, stakeholder expectations while sustaining alignment with overarching business goals. The risk register highlights key organizational elements: material, machinery, labor, cost, and schedule, alongside their respective risks, impact levels, probability levels, and calculated priority scores. Risks such as delays in material delivery, machinery breakdowns, and labor shortages are categorized by severity using a color-coded system: green for low, yellow for moderate, orange for high, and red for critical. The priority is determined by multiplying impact and probability, helping the team quickly focus on the most pressing issues. To mitigate these risks, proactive measures are essential. Strategies could include diversifying suppliers to prevent material delays, scheduling regular machinery maintenance, securing labor agreements in advance, enforcing strict procurement controls to curb budget overruns, and implementing milestone-based project tracking to manage schedule risks. Addressing these risks early supports smoother project execution and minimizes potential disruptions. Effective risk management involves systematically identifying and prioritizing risks based on their potential impact and likelihood, allowing project teams to allocate resources and define targeted risk responses. Once risks are evaluated, appropriate mitigation strategies are implemented, ensuring that each risk is monitored and addressed proactively. This structured approach maintains project stability by minimizing disruptions, updating risk registers, and strengthening response readiness throughout the project lifecycle. Additionally, contingency planning plays a critical role by preparing alternative strategies to maintain business continuity and operational resilience in the face of unexpected events. Through comprehensive plans covering areas like disaster recovery, cyber incident response, and critical infrastructure protection, organizations ensure they can quickly adapt and recover. This layered preparedness not only reduces downtime but also builds organizational confidence and long-term sustainability. Risk reserves are essential financial and temporal buffers integrated into project budgets and schedules to proactively address uncertainty. They are divided into two distinct types. First, the contingency reserve, allocated for known risks, or what we call known unknowns, and identified during risk analysis. This reserve is managed by the project manager to address anticipated issues without requiring higher-level approval, ensuring agility in response. Second, the management reserve, designated for unknown risks, or what we call the unknown unknowns, that is for unforeseen events beyond initial analysis. This reserve is controlled by upper management or sponsors and requires formal approval for use, safeguarding strategic resources for true emergencies. Together, contingency and management reserves form a layered defense within the total project budget, combining the base cost estimate with contingency and management allocations. This structured approach ensures that projects remain resilient, adaptable, and financially prepared to navigate both expected challenges and unexpected crises without compromising objectives. Effective risk management begins with identifying, analyzing, and prioritizing risks based on their potential impact and probability, enabling project teams to allocate resources effectively and assign targeted responses. Each identified risk is then addressed with a specific risk strategy, avoiding the risk entirely, transferring it to a third party, mitigating its impact through proactive measures, or accepting it when it falls within tolerable thresholds. Through structured tracking, mitigation planning, and resource alignment, risks are systematically managed to maintain project stability and progress. Complementing this, contingency planning strengthens resilience by ensuring that alternative plans are ready to activate if primary strategies fail. Comprehensive contingency frameworks address areas like business continuity, disaster recovery, cyber incident response, and critical infrastructure protection, allowing organizations to adapt swiftly to disruptions. This combined approach of risk management and contingency preparedness not only reduces operational vulnerabilities but also fosters a culture of agility, preparedness, and sustainable success. Control risks is the continuous process of monitoring, evaluating, and adjusting risk responses to ensure project objectives are protected from uncertainty. Monitor risks is the proactive and continuous process of ensuring that the risk management strategies remain effective and relevant throughout the project lifecycle. It involves regularly reviewing the risk register to confirm that existing risks are still valid, priorities are current, and responses are working as intended. As the project evolves, some risks may expire or be downgraded, while new risks may emerge, requiring reanalysis, updated probability impact assessments, and revised response plans to maintain alignment with project objectives. This process utilizes key tools like data analysis, audits, and meetings to evaluate risk exposure and response efficacy. Outputs such as work performance information, change requests, and updates to the risk register, lessons learned, and other project documents ensure that the project remains adaptive and resilient. By consistently monitoring risks, project managers can dynamically manage uncertainty, protect value, and make informed decisions that keep the project on track despite changing conditions. Risk monitoring and control is the dynamic process of tracking identified risks, evaluating the performance of risk responses, and identifying new risks throughout the project lifecycle. It relies on inputs like the risk management plan, risk register, and performance reports, and employs techniques such as risk reassessments, audits, variance analysis, and reserve analysis to ensure risks are managed proactively. Regular status meetings help maintain alignment and responsiveness to changing conditions. Outputs include updates to the risk register, requested changes, and recommended corrective or preventive actions, which refine both project plans and organizational process assets. This continuous cycle ensures that risk management remains integrated and adaptive, protecting project objectives from uncertainty and enhancing decision-making with real-time insights. It transforms risk management from a static plan into an active, living discipline that safeguards value and drives project success. This dashboard provides a comprehensive overview of corporate risk exposure, highlighting high-priority threats such as regulatory compliance, cost-cutting pressures, currency volatility, and missed growth opportunities, all marked with high scores and stable trends. It categorizes risks across domains like IT, legal, supply chain, and market dynamics, quantifying their frequency and impact through a risk map that visualizes likelihood versus consequence. The control performance metrics and categorization reveal critical areas requiring urgent attention, emphasizing the need for targeted mitigation strategies to protect organizational stability and strategic objectives. Risk management is a structured, cyclical process that begins with planning to define strategy and methodology, followed by identification to categorize and capture potential threats and opportunities. It then advances to qualitative analysis, where risks are prioritized based on their probability and impact, and quantitative analysis, which uses tools like decision trees, expected monetary value, and Monte Carlo simulations to numerically assess their effects on project objectives. The process culminates in response planning, where mitigation, avoidance, transfer, or acceptance strategies are developed, including contingency reserves for known risks. Finally, monitoring and control ensure ongoing vigilance through recurring evaluations, updates, and adjustments to keep the risk approach effective amid changing conditions. This end-to-end discipline transforms uncertainty from a liability into a managed element, enabling proactive decision-making and safeguarding project value throughout its life cycle. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to excellence and your dedication to mastering the profession. We wish you resounding success on your path to certification.